Harry. Oh, yeah, Harry.
You know, there comes a time when you probably ought to stop broadcasting. I probably should have quit about 5 years before I passed.
I think we should have quit about 20 years ago.
That's okay. I've been listening since 10. I can't make anything out of it.
What am I counting? What do I know? We only deal in truth here.
Oh, my God. What world am I living in? Scott Barter's making me laugh.
Don't you feel a little stupid? Go over there this afternoon. Throw your worm in the water. See how that works out.
Throw your worm in the water means something different in Los Angeles.
Well, it means about the same thing here in Kenosha. Wow. Things haven't changed.
That's what I'm saying. I can't make heads or tails which part is which.
Was a virgin sacrifice?
Not that I recall. We couldn't find one.
And not in Kenosha anyway. Right?
Get through what you got to get through, Scott.
This program is a real challenge.
Good morning, everybody. This is Uncle Scotty Barter, and welcome to the April 14th edition of the Kenosha Today Weekly Report, coming to you live from Studio A here at AM 1050 WLIP, streaming worldwide and booming across the very balmy, bright, sunshiny cornfields of the Midwest. See, I'm just challenging you guys, see if anybody's paying attention. Obviously, no one is.
I have other things to pay attention to, Scott, sorry.
Okay. Reaching out to over 1.4 million listeners here in the Tri-County area. Being brought to you this morning by our major sponsors, the Boathouse Pub and Eatery and Barter's Financial Planning Services, along with a host of other very fine local businesses. Joining us this morning, my computer advisor, my legal advisor, and on a bad night, my relationship advisor. Elmo Schneider's in the house. Elmo.
Good morning and happy ex-spouse day today. So that's
Happy ex-spouse day. Should we be talking about this in front of the youngster here?
I don't know.
Well, you know.
I think I'll be okay.
Yeah, you'll get through this, right?
Somehow, some way.
Ex-spouse day. So for those that, are we going to cover this in depth, or is this just a topic? Not really. Huh?
No.
Not in depth. Yeah.
Enough litigation for the year
We'll
already.
just scrape the surface and then, right back into it.
Yep.
And as he is every Saturday, our video coordinator, the Love Doctor, speaking of ex-spouse, Spider Ronnie the Camera Dude joins us here at Camp Happy Face.
Well, were you and Ronnie married?
Not together.
Well, you said ex-spouse. Speaking of ex-spouse.
Well, not my ex-spouse.
Okay. Oh.
You take a couple weeks off.
I'm
and,
just looking for a little clarification. I don't want anybody to be too confused about the show.
You're a little late. You're 5 years too late on that.
We're trying to bring it back around. There you go.
Apparently, Spider's not doing a whole lot of love doctoring these days. What are you in a slump or what?
Too busy working.
Too busy working?
Yeah.
You should never have enough time to be love doctoring. Tell him, Elmo.
You never have enough time.
Hey, and back engineering and board operating the Kenosha State Trolley Ride this morning, Wacky Wayne rejoins us here in the Enchanted Kingdom.
I couldn't stay away.
And the missus had an unfortunate accident.
Yes.
Broken ankle.
Yeah, she misstepped and broke her ankle in two places, so they had to glue her back together.
Well, when you push her down 14 flights of stairs, what do you want?
Well,
that's a misstep.
I'm looking for not to celebrate ex-spouse day. Widower's day, maybe, but not ex-spouse day.
Well, that's right. Actually, in a couple of weeks, Mother's Day's coming up.
Yeah. So I was trying to dodge that bullet, but no. All she did was break an ankle. Man.
Boy, you simplify it. She's got about 20 pins, barely hanging it on there.
Nine pins, one plate.
I got more than that between my ears.
Well, there's that.
What is this, a bowling alley? What
Yeah, exactly. We're just missing a pin. We're playing a little 9-pin.
Yeah.
I don't want to even ask about the 7-10 split.
It'd be very uncomfortable, yeah.
This week, the Kenosha Today Secret Word Challenge is sponsored by Barter's Financial Planning Services. With over 35 years of tax preparation and financial planning experience, let us guide you through all the options that are still available, how you can use the new tax code to your advantage and save the maximum dollars for your family. Give me a call, 262-652-6767. And the Kenosha Today Brain Trust has pre-selected this morning's secret word. And the first caller to say that will win a $20 Boathouse gift card, compliments of Kenosha today.
Well, that's nice.
We had a first last week, a county board supervisor, Andy Berg, won it.
Won it.
And I was looking like heck in the FCC rules, or at least in our bylaws, thinking that we didn't have to pay an elected official out.
Right, no.
Is that known as a in-kind contribution?
Aha! It's $20 a gift card. I think if you're somebody in the, of course, being a county board supervisor, nonpartisan race, but I think somebody better call for an investigation into that.
Right.
How many contests has he won? You know, it's just that one and maybe some more. Maybe he's playing other radio stations trying to get what he can get.
I said his name's Andy Berg, not Shirley.
Oh, okay.
God, pay attention. Get eye contact.
Sure. Eye contact. No, I'm not supposed to look at you.
Yeah. Coming up.
You notice he put the monitor back up here.
Yeah,
so it doesn't
for
have to
2
look
weeks
at
the
me.
monitor was over there. So
Right,
you could,
because that's where the guys before us leave the monitor, and I'm like, no, it goes up there.
yeah,
what
but
he
now
does.
you can't see.
What do I need to see Elmo for?
Well, he might have something important to wave at you.
Wink at you.
No, wink at you.
Yeah, all right.
Hey,
There's
I'm real happy today. I got a brand new chair that I'm in.
right?
And
Fake leather and everything.
Did you notice there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 track lighting spotlights here
Yeah,
now
I
in the
know.
studio and
Yeah.
a new chair?
I know. Well, the new chair's only because I put it in here for another show. I should have put it away. Sorry. I guess you get a new chair
You
anyway.
better put it before John Perry finds it's missing.
Right. I don't need trouble like that in my life.
Oh, we have a call
Yeah.
already.
Morning, Shirley.
Good morning. Welcome back, Wacky Wayne.
Yeah,
I'm so
I couldn't
sorry
stay
about
away.
your wife.
Yeah,
That's
so
a
am I.
shame.
Yeah. Thank you.
That'll teach her to use the stairs and not the escalator,
Right.
and make sure her husband's
Yeah.
walking in front of her.
Uh-huh.
So what's going on, Shirley?
This is really ex-wife, spouse day, or?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's National Ex-Spouse Day. Oh, it should be worldwide, I think. You know?
yeah, it's worldwide and ex-spouse day. Now you've only had the one, right?
Yeah.
Yep. Try to taper your enthusiasm.
Yep.
Shirley, I got a little story here that I came. I recalled this week, and it was when I was just 16, and I had gotten my driver's license, and I asked my dad that if I could start using the car on the weekends for dating purposes only. So he tells me that if he would consent to that if I read the Bible every day. And if I got my grades up to a C, a solid C, and if I cut my hair, because this was the 60s, you know. So a month goes by, and I asked him if he would let me use the car, and he says, well, it appeared that I hadn't been reading the Bible at all, and that my claims to going to Bible study were apparently just a ruse for this deal.
Right.
And then he looks at my report card, and there wasn't a lot of real good news there. So he also didn't buy my claim that all the barbers in town were on strike, because I let my hair continue to grow.
Of course.
So I'm thinking that this isn't going to work out real good for old Scotty boy. So I said to him, look, Moses had long hair, Noah had long hair, and Jesus even had long hair.
Right.
And my dad says, yep, and they sure did. And they also walked everywhere they went. So he says, I hate to crush your dreams, son, but I think if you're planning on going to Harvard, you better buy some new shoes. So that's the story of the day.
So you didn't get your car, huh?
No, I get it, yeah, but I got a new pair of shoes. I have a friend of mine that has an outlet. He buys his new pair of shoes up in Milwaukee, but that's another
So
story.
you had to keep on walking, huh?
Yeah, well, this is ex-spouse day, and how many times have I been told that?
As many times as you've lost the mayoral race.
Yeah, about the many times as one was a mulligan, so I can't count that. But,
Oh, okay.
Redo.
Yeah,
You get a mulligan on that?
I had a mulligan relationship one time, and we don't want to go into that because I don't want to embarrass anybody, especially
How
me.
many times have you been married, or don't you want to say?
Once.
One? Oh.
Yeah, and I one and a mulligan.
So technically two.
Well, not in your traditional sense.
Okay. I feel that this is going to open a can of worms we'd rather not get into.
Yeah,
so,
yeah. I answered your question. I feel like Mark Zuckerberg here
Right.
for the Congresswoman Shirley.
You got a better haircut, though.
Oh, yeah. We're going to get into Mark Zuckerberg. Are you going to go out in your backyard and do a little sun tanning this afternoon? I mean, it's such a balmy day here
I'd blow away. That wind is terrible.
on the WLIP weather deck. You know, did you? They had an article in the paper about tornado drills that was slated for last Thursday. And what I found interesting in this article, it says if actual severe storms are expected in the state on Thursday, the tornado drills will be postponed until Friday. I didn't quite-
Well, they want to make sure that it's not.
Yeah.
Everybody's just thinking it's a drill.
So
Yeah.
I was when it was 73 and the sun was out on Thursday.
Yeah.
I went golfing for the first time, and I hadn't done much of anything. My elbows were in good shape, but my my quads and my things, and so I was winded.
The glutes were not.
The glutes were not what they used to be, and I made it 8 holes, and I walked, and I guess I'm in not too good a shape, but
Things
you
to
got
work
the
towards.
golf. How
Yeah.
was that nice out?
I don't want to start too high. I always set the bar low and then taper down from there. I don't want to peak too early
Right.
in April.
Yeah, right, yeah.
So
Oh, this weather, I'm telling you, it's just crazy.
It's normal.
it's normal. You know what? I
The
got
weather in the
I got
Midwest.
my We Energies bill, and it always compares the usages and the temperatures to a year ago.
Yeah.
You know, the last four weeks it was about 3 degrees difference.
Yeah.
Cooler. It's a big deal. And
I know.
I mean, the gas, it all evens out.
Yeah, it does. April's always crazy.
As
You
opposed,
never, it snows, and I heard, is it going to snow tomorrow, I heard?
Yep.
we're looking out on the weather on the
That's the
WP
rumor on
weather
the,
deck. and,
street, yeah.
Snow.
Yep. Wintry mix.
About at least an inch, which means the city of Kenosha will be calling out a plow run
That's
at the
right.
rate of
Oh,
$30,000.
right,
Yeah, we have to get those plows rounded up, and I hope Dale out in the 17th district is in charge of helping Alderman Snowflake out there.
You see that stuff up in Beaver Dam? They had golf ball size hail. They had to get the snow plows out to plow the hail off the roads. So
Yeah. Anyway, I hope my friend Dale hadn't put the shovels away too early because
Yeah, no, you can't put them away yet.
with an inch out there, it's going to be hell to pay out there in 17th district. So.
You're shoveling all year round,
well.
aren't you?
Yeah, I shovel it all year round.
You do a lot of shoveling on your show.
Yeah. Thank you for noticing, Shirley. We
Shirley.
try. We try. Thank
God
you.
almighty, it looks like we're out of time
it's
again.
a good show.
Yeah.
I love it. I hope Gunga calls too. Gunga's.
You know, I got some questions for Gungo, but he pushes the envelope right to the end, right to the almost the end and over the edge. But
I know he does. Yeah.
you know what we're
that's
calling
what-
him now? We're calling him the Pampa Prince of Pakistan.
You know, I heard he put those secret surveillance cameras in the Charm Beauty Salon there. So we got,
Yeah, we're gonna get. You know, the term mastermind seems to elude his. So we have a plan B for Gungo if he calls, and
Oh, good. Gunga, you better call. And I told the owner about the panty raid.
you know, I told him I went over a week ago after he brought this up that I went over and did some surveillance and some recon, and find out most of you gals ain't wearing panties over there. So that's why I said there's flaws in his plan.
yes.
All right.
Yeah, well,
All right, sure.
what can I say? Yeah.
Well, we got another call coming in, Shirley. So
Okay, thank
bye-bye.
you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Go
Bye.
away.
Yeah.
Bye.
Good morning. You're on Kenosha today.
Hey guys,
Hey,
this
Tim.
is Tim in Kenosha, and I'm really thankful that you guys are giving us that weather report. I'm getting really scared, and I'm just really thankful to live in the city of Kenosha where we could drop the plows and do a full plow run in case of a snow emergency with an inch of snow.
Especially in April.
Yeah, well, I'm thankful for our lovely city council for looking out for us still, and not. I don't have to worry as much. I mean, I was really getting scared, and you know, when I have the confidence that the city trucks are out dropping blades and you see sparks flying, then I know I'm in good hands. So, again, I can't say how thankful I am again for a certain alderman who takes the lead, who's more than he's a super alderman.
Yeah, ask him.
And,
He'll tell you.
Oh yeah, no, I know that for a fact. And
He's
I
staying
don't
up
know
all
what to do
night,
without him.
monitoring the situation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's probably out there looking in
I
that.
also heard that there may or may not be a local city Kenosha establishment with the name Kenosha and its title that'll be offering up a new non-alcoholic drink for any former convicted felon alderman out there for a free non-alcoholic drink called the Stalker. I don't know if you heard about this or not.
No, and I was always worried about Gunga calling in.
Yeah,
Go
it comes
ahead.
with a big celery stalk and a glass of ice, a big celery stalk, and 2 cherries, and it's called the Stalker. And it's you fill it up with water, and it's for any convicted felon, former alderman out there.
Well, at least you're not isolating, and this is just a hypothetical, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
no. I mean, we,
It's only a mere rumor.
Just,
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know whether or not what the name of the Kenosha Tavern may be, but it may or may not have the name Tap involved with it also.
God almighty.
Have a good one.
Yeah.
Thanks, Tim.
Boy, where do I go from here? Boys.
And the show's over. Thanks for stopping by. We're ending early. We'll air replays the rest of the day.
262-694-1050. Coming up after 10:30, after the weather break, Kenosha's fastest growing game show sensation, the lightning round of City in Jeopardy, sponsored by the Boathouse Pub and Eatery. And then after the 11 o'clock break, this week's top 10 thought-provoking category written at Amen Corner, where gray hairs matter, on the deck at the Boathouse Pub and Eatery. During last night's production meeting, the top 10 signs Kenosha's potholes are very large.
So now, for the Kenosha Today production meeting, were you on the deck of the boathouse
Sure.
last night
Well, yeah, they have,
in the balmy weather?
They have an indoor deck.
they have an indoor deck with a roof and the windows are closed. You see if you'd attend one
If
of
I,
these.
if I would go to the boathouse and
Yeah.
hang out with you guys?
Oh, yeah, we can-
It's a long way home. I'd have to Uber it. It costs way too much.
You could. You got one or two choices. Well, actually, you could. Captain Mike lives about 500 feet down the road. You can go bunk with him.
I saw the picture from his front, from probably his easy chair. No, I'm not interested. I'm okay.
What was it? The 10W40 that he's got on his kitchen table?
That was breakfast over
Oh, that was
there.
breakfast.
That was breakfast. Yeah,
That's how he spices his food.
I can imagine.
Hey, you walk around in loose-fitting boxer shorts and in an open robe all day long, and you'd be that same kind of guy. Anyway, the top 10 signs Kenosha's potholes are very large, so we're going to address that.
Oh yeah.
Because this is like downtown Baghdad. It looks like Trump called in a missile strike here on some of our streets.
We keep going back to Baghdad. When we were having the construction on 6th Avenue, we compared it to Baghdad. Now potholes are... So what you're saying is that Kenosha is the Midwest's Baghdad.
Baghdad. Bingo, Baghdad.
All right. Just making sure I'm keeping up on all this.
Okay. Well,
Hanging on your every word, as it were.
Yeah. Also, during that half hour, we'll be playing another edition of Stump the Chumps. And we're going to allow one of our lucky listeners to the opportunity to see if, only if, they are smarter than the chumps that sit here in this. This is actually a
Well-lit
studio.
room, yeah.
And now, if you're successful in stumping the chumps, we let you join us for an upcoming show.
Maybe.
No, well, yeah, it all depends. We do have some guidelines. And-
There's a lot of...
We've had a couple people take advantage
there's a
of that.
vetting process.
Yeah, and then they can see for themselves the intricacies and the planning and all the technology that goes into producing a high-powered...
Well, the planning, they'd have to come out to, Amen Corner to enjoy the production meeting, because there's no planning that goes on here in the studio. This is where it all
it's called
comes to.
pre-planning.
Right.
This
This is where it all comes together. The
That's right.
culmination of all that planning.
Yeah.
I do have to say we
A
had
culmination? Hopefully
we
not.
had to put this week on the calendar because there was one day that Uncle Scotty was not at the boathouse this week.
Was it a holiday?
What day was that? I was there every day.
Tuesday.
I was there.
No, you weren't. You said you had an appointment. You had a tax appointment. You didn't show up there.
No, I was there Tuesday.
I called you that day because I'm wondering, you're not here. I thought you
Oh,
were.
what time was this?
I thought you were dead.
No.
We had to set out. We were going to send the cops out for a wellness check. What the?
I swear I was there because that's the Tuesday they have the pint beer things. I know I was there. I could have sworn. I have a track record of perfect attendance. I got the medals to prove it.
I'm
Okay.
not so sure.
You check your
The
thing.
phone call is still on the record in my phone, so I'll see what time it was.
Well, I was there. I just wanted on the record.
On the record, you were there
Where else could I have been?
at a tax appointment.
Elmo.
Yeah. Doing some accounting work.
And there's even more, boys and girls. After the 11:30 break, our special weekly editorial segment. What are we calling it this week? As the
pothole turns.
As the pothole turns. Let's try to do it together, huh? One more time.
I don't know if I want to do it with you guys.
This is high five zingers and doofus. We got 3 real great ones this week. And it gets even better, folks, for those who might have forgotten. Tomorrow at noon, each and every Sunday, you can tune in here at AM 1050 WIP and listen to the replay of this show. And then you can watch the replay of this finely tuned, professionally produced Excuse for a Radio show on Time Warner Cable's Channel 14, Tuesdays at 5 and Wednesdays at 6. And everybody can now sign up with the thousands of fans and listeners who have joined the Kenosha today. The
Oh, yeah.
That too.
That too.
And again, on every Friday afternoon, you can, around 3 p.m., we get together for getting silly with Scotty. And it used to be Sally, but I kind of outgrew that transgender thing.
Yeah?
Yeah,
It's not as popular as it once was?
You know what? The women's bathroom is and all that. That's just way overrated. So
You think so? Okay.
So I just go in there into the men's room and
Might as well.
put my name and number and take my chances. Now, if anybody out in the Kenosha City Nation wants to host our Friday afternoon production meeting, give me a call at 262-652-6767, because we do have some standards that we go by.
Sure.
Not much, but
I'm sure they're all written down in the Kenosha Today handbook.
no, here's the handbook,
Yeah.
right here between my ears.
Oh, jeez. We're in some trouble.
Some things that we're going to talk about we're almost ready for a break, because obviously one of the lots of big news today, this week. Paul Ryan decides to call it a day, or call it a year and a career.
Allegedly.
What do you mean? You think he's lying? No, he says Paul Ryan's. He's going to quit,
Yeah.
and he's going to come back and be a dad.
Yep. That's what I heard.
And like I said, unlike, and I'll address this in the high five zingers and doofuses, unlike other politicians who want to spend more time with their family, which is usually about one step ahead of an indictment in some cases.
All right.
And we don't believe that's going to apply to our friend Paul Ryan.
Probably not, no.
And then, of course, our other friend, Mark Zuckerberg.
We got lots of friends.
Yeah.
We should actually call them, have them
Friends
come
on
sit
Facebook.
Yeah, we're friends on Facebook. You know what? I listened to some of this dribble with these congressmen and senators.
Yeah.
They each had 4 minutes. So they'd ask the poor guy a question, and before he could answer, they were on to their own agenda.
Right.
I thought it was a joke.
It was all a big dog and pony show.
Exactly.
He was not under oath, and the whole thing was stupid.
And so, like I'll get into later, is these guys didn't know anything about Facebook, how it worked, other than maybe they use it to get it elected. But when you go on Facebook...
Somehow I don't think they personally use it to get elected. I imagine they have a team of people that do that for them.
Oh, right.
Probably 20-year-olds that operate the
No, they're called Russians.
internet. Yeah, we could do that too.
Yeah. And then, this mess with this James Comey coming out with a new book calling, I'm going to address this later too, Trump comparing him to a mafia don. Boy, I don't know if I'd want to go down that road. And and then...
Giving Mafia Don's a bad name.
Yeah.
That's right. Then you got the school board, the new electees, Todd Battle, Mary Motter, and Tom Duncan, who their quotes in the paper.
Vows cooperation.
Vows,
yeah.
Somebody's got an
betting
agenda.
on
As
that.
soon as I read that, vows cooperation. And this is one of them says, it will be my responsibility to review, analyze, determine, and facilitate what must be done to assure all the district's needs. Somebody's got an agenda when I read this. That's the way I look at this.
Everybody's got an agenda.
Well, we don't. Here's our agenda. Just get the hell out of here by noon and without any arrests or convictions.
There you go. See, we've got an agenda.
And then this was another article in the Kenosha News. This guy is Stephen Kenosha. His picture's in here. He represents the Conservation Congress. I didn't even know we had a Conservation Congress. And their issue was how they, because they were killing and capturing and killing geese because they are extremely messy.
Right.
Well, out at the golf course at Brightondale, because of all the ponds, for years they have had problems with geese. It's just downright unsanitary. I mean,
Sure.
you're stepping in geese doo-doo all the time.
Sure.
So what they did 3 years ago, there's about a 10-day window at the end of June where adult geese lose their flight feathers.
Right.
And so they can't go anywhere. Molting. So he herd them all into cages because they can't fly away.
Right.
And they take them and gas them. And they test them, and then they feed them to the prisoners.
Okay.
And according to this, he says it's unconstitutional or something, and he doesn't like this.
We're violating the geese's constitutional right?
Yeah,
Okay.
whatever amendment the geese constitution is.
Gotcha.
And he says it doesn't work because they come back and repopulate. Well, I got to tell you, in the last 3 years since they've been doing this,
Right.
we don't have a geese problem. We might see 6 come back.
Right.
And when they don't see their little brothers and sisters, no more geese.
Is that where they come up with the phrase, your goose is cooked?
like you said, this is this is National Former Spouse Day, right?
Right.
Where do we hear that? So I disagree with the Conservation Congress that doesn't work. You know, they tried oiling the eggs around the pond so they wouldn't hatch.
Sure.
They tried that didn't work, and then they tried bringing a dog in, and all the dogs did was chase the geese to the next pond over.
Right.
And in the meantime, the course just destroyed the course because you couldn't
Right.
walk anywhere. So I think this is a good thing, and according to the Department of what's the DNR? Goosedropping.com, you know.
Department of Natural Resources.
Yes.
Yes, that's what we're looking for there.
There you go.
Did you notice they voted on a couple of beaver issues in there too? So that was
Oh, well, that doesn't concern me. What concerns me is the golf course. And
Right.
but look at this guy.
Scotty's not interested in beaver anymore.
this-
Just the golf course.
Not at my age. But look at this guy's head. He looks like he's who was the guy from? Yeah, no, who was the guy from Australia that did all the movies?
Paul Hogan.
Paul Hogan. Yeah. What was this?
Crocodile Dundee.
Crocodile Dundee.
I think Alzheimer's is setting in.
It's way.
I don't
past
think.
that.
I don't think this
Dementia.
Guy, as opposed to him telling me I wasn't there Tuesday.
Right.
I've got a receipt that shows that I was,
I'm sure.
because I write that off on my taxes. And of course,
Customer development, isn't it?
client development.
Client development. Yeah.
And then here's on Tuesday, this gal has garnered 128 supporters to seek end of a gun raffle out at the fairgrounds. I didn't know that this was an issue. And I think the Republican Party does this as a fundraiser.
Weren't we
Right.
talking to their representative last night at the production meeting?
You might have been. I left.
Okay. No, Gene was there. So
Oh, Gene. I
Yeah,
was
yeah.
thinking of Samantha Kirkman.
No, she wasn't there. So.
Did I ask him about this?
I think you did.
What did he say?
Yeah.
I remember
I
seeing
don't
Gene.
remember.
And you said the Alzheimer's isn't kicking in.
Well, it wasn't the Alzheimer's at that point.
Oh, okay.
And, well, we got a bunch of other things when we get back. They want to play a little City in Jeopardy. And so I guess we're going to take our first break and
Yeah.
tell everybody what a wonderful weather weekend we're going to have.
No, Wisconsin's getting 12 inches of snow or over. It's going to be 30 plus centimeters of snow to hit Wisconsin. It's supposed to be a lot of snow and strong winds. It's supposed to be very stormy conditions in Wisconsin.
Hello, everybody.
People in Wisconsin.
This is Uncle Scotty Barter. And welcome to, I think, the
He's got a lot of snow to
April
talk about.
14th edition. April 14th, not January, but April 14th edition of the Kenosha Today Weekly Report. Coming to you live from Studio A here at AM 1050, spreading the love to over 1.4 people living in the WIP listening area.
How many people? Yeah. The 1.4 people?
Didn't I say million again?
No, you keep skipping the million.
I got it right there.
Even 2 weeks ago, I
ago.
wasn't even here, and you still 1 point. So we got one full person
And point
and
four
point four of another. Hopefully, it's at least their head and shoulders,
So
they can listen.
I guess it's the Alzheimer's isn't the least of my problems.
I guess
Thank you for correcting me, fellas. I appreciate that.
that's what we're here for.
No problem. Yeah.
You want us? Earlier, you're like, let's see if they're paying attention, and no one was paying attention, and now we're paying attention, and you're mad about it. You can't have it both ways.
I just couldn't read it. I don't know why I can't read it. I was looking right at it. Living in the WIP listening area that surrounds us here at Camp Happy Face, also bringing you gas trolleys, backyard beavers, saving the Kenosha Nation from all the perils in do-over Kenosha. And again, we invite you to join the thousands of fans who have already signed up and liked us on Facebook and talk about warmth and kindness. You know, Elmo, if somebody joins us on Facebook and likes us, their stuff is protected, right?
With what?
From what?
It's not the answer I was looking for.
If they like us on Facebook, that means they can see all the stuff that Elmo posts. I don't know that they're protected. Subject to.
I suppose the next time I have a question that's in the gray area, I might want to ask you off the air. We are brought to you by our major sponsors, the Boathouse Pub and Eatery and Barter's Financial Planning Services, along with a host of other very fine local businesses. The Kenosha Today Love Doctor, Spider, Ronnie the Camera Dude's here. You know, the other day on Thursday, the Easter Seals truck came over. They picked up from Barter Manor a bunch of my goodies, and they asked, "Where's Spider?" Because they wanted to think you were going. I was donating you to the Easter Seals.
Oh, jeez.
I wonder how I list you on my receipt.
Yeah.
Used and abused.
Big and ugly.
Engineering and board operating the Kenosha State train wreck this morning. Hanging on her every word, as he is.
And then being yelled at for doing so.
I'm not yelling at you.
Complain.
I'm not yelling
Never
at you.
happy.
The face of WIP, Wacky Wayne, joins us all the way from Antioch. So now that your wife is laid up, she's probably got a cast on, right?
Not yet. She's still wearing a splint. She gets a hard cast 2 weeks.
Well,
So they splinted it because, you got to leave room for swelling. Hard cast doesn't really give much room for swelling.
Well, I'll tell you what, talking to a couple guys in the studio here that have been down this married route, don't let her start gold bricking you. You get her out cutting the yard.
As soon as possible,
next week.
As soon as the doctor says she could put weight on it,
When the swelling, don't go over that
Shoveling
swelling.
the snow.
Yeah.
Right. Shovel, mow the snow. Got it.
I suppose you're probably doing laundry and dusting and cleaning the house.
Actually, that's what the boy is for. I put the kid to work.
How old is he?
13. He's old enough to do stuff.
Yeah.
Well, okay, and then once that area of the household chores is done, and you get your wife out cutting the ground,
Right.
The grass, and then you
I'll
can
be
just
able to
lay
go
back in a hammock and drink beer.
I'll be able to go out for a beer. Yeah, it'll be perfect. I can't wait.
Boy, you're catching on to this pretty good.
I know what I'm doing.
Yeah. How's this there, cowboy? Illinois is not a community property state.
Right. Right.
Just thought I'd throw that in there
Sure,
in case you
sure.
may have forgotten.
No.
Coming up after the 11:30 break, our weekly editorial segment. This week it's As the Pothole Turns. Also known in the first half hour, has won this morning's Secret Word Challenge, sponsored by Barter's Financial Planning Services. With over 35 years of tax preparation, financial planning experience, let us guide you with all the options that are still available. Find out how you can take advantage and use the new tax code to your advantage. You know, there are some, I didn't create the tax code.
Right.
This was done by those wonderful people out in Washington.
Yes.
But they've created a few more, I wouldn't even call them loopholes. This is how they wrote.
Right. More hoops to jump
More
through.
hoops to jump through.
Fiery.
And,
hoops.
if you should happen to mention, no, fiery hoops is when you come out of Barter Manor.
Oh. Okay.
Just thought I'd clarify that.
Yeah, please do.
If you should happen to mention today's secret word, we're going to send you a $20 Boathouse gift card. And again, the show is being recorded for training purposes, so we can replay this tomorrow at noon. And also gives the board operator here an opportunity to blip out any words that may be inappropriate. Yesterday or last week when Selovich was saying,
Yeah.
I get a text on my phone over here.
Sure.
So I just happened to glance at it, and it's from him, and the message from 5 feet away says, "What the hell am I doing here?"
Right. All right.
So, and special thanks to my good friend Elmo Schneider. You can find the Kenosha Today show 365 days, 24/7 up on YouTube. Are we current, boys?
Got it in his pants.
It's in my pocket.
He's got it in his pants.
Yep. And you said you weren't love doctoring.
Yes. Good point there.
It's amazing how you can put a whole show in your pocket.
Yeah. Glad to see you. Is that a whole show?
Oh, fellas. After the 11 o'clock break, this week's top 10 thought-provoking category, the top 10 signs that Kenosha potholes are very large. And now, boys and girls, it's time to play Kenosha's fastest-growing game show sensation, the lightning round of City in Jeopardy, sponsored by the Boathouse Pub and Eatery. And now, to be eligible, no one from your household could have won any contest on WIP within the last 60 days. We will now clear the phone lines.
Clear.
And I'm going to read the question, which, as everybody knows, is a very sophisticated, intelligent, multiple-choice question. And you will get 3 somewhat intellectual answers to choose from. After that, you will hear and the first caller to correctly answer the question wins a Kenosha Today $25 gift certificate to the Boathouse Pub and Eatery, located at 4917 7th Avenue here in Kenosha, open Monday through Friday at 11 a.m., featuring weekly lunch and dinner specials. And enjoy a beautiful waterfront view and stop in for their big Saturday and Sunday morning breakfast and Bloody Mary specials, beginning at 7 a.m. until noon. And if you're planning a party or a banquet, a funeral lunch, or outside chance you're going to get married. I mean, I said an outside chance. I got to include.
So as you look at Elmo, what, has he just not accepted the proposal yet?
Well, see, you notice I said wedding and funeral all kind of
all in the same one?
sentence.
Yeah. Okay.
Call Joyce.
Do I get a mulligan?
Anyway, quickly call Joyce at 262-654-9922.
Oh, Sally.
Find them in the boathouse.kenosha.com. You know, if you have a funeral lunch, you don't get a mulligan. So I just thought
It's kind of late for that.
yeah, kind of late for that. Okay, here's the question. What is the best thing to do when a tornado hits Kenosha? A, get on the trolley and try to outrun it. B, have the city order all the snowplows out when the winds get over 10 miles an hour. Or C, sound a siren every time you see your Doppler posted on Facebook. First caller, 262-694-1050. What is the best thing to do when a tornado hits Kenosha? A, get on the trolley and try to outrun it. B, have the city order all the snowplows out when the winds get over 10 miles an hour. Or C, sound a siren every time you see your Doppler posted on Facebook. Did I read this too quickly?
Got to remember
no.
there's a delay.
Right. Okay.
Quite the delay.
Quite the delay. Good morning. You're on Kenosha today.
Good morning.
Yeah.
Who's this?
Morning.
Who's this?
Terry.
Terry. Terry?
Yep.
You go by Terrence?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Actually, both.
Are you married?
Yes.
Does your wife call you Terrence?
No.
Because usually...
Only when she's mad.
yeah, that's usually the tip-off when a woman's mad. The only reason I'm bringing this up because this is ex-spouse day across the Kenosha Nation. They usually call you by your first name or your legal name, and when they know that, then you might be in trouble, Terry. But you're with us, right?
Yes.
Okay. All right, Terry. Here's the question again. What is the best thing to do when a tornado hits Kenosha? A, get on a trolley and try to outrun it. B, have the city order all the snowplows out when the winds get over 10 miles an hour. Or C, sound a siren every time you see your Doppler posted on Facebook. Terry!
I'm going to go with A.
Get on the trolley and try to outrun it. Yes, that's a correct answer. Oh, wow, Terry. You're going to make your wife very proud of you. Is she listening to this?
Yeah.
Oh, boy. Well, so I guess you're kind of locked into taking her with the $25 gift certificate, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. How long you been married, not counting today?
50 years.
50 years? What's the secret of that?
Just listen to her.
Well, we have some other guy?
Other than living in separate cities.
yeah, living in separate cities. That's a key to being married 50 years. But Terry, we're very proud of you, and I'm sure your wife is. Dude, you didn't ever push her down the stairs where she broke an ankle, did you?
No.
Now, help out my friend Wacky Wayne here. He's been married, 13 years or thereabouts?
About 4.
And so now his wife's got this broken ankle, and so now, according to her, she's laid up. She can't put a cast on until the swelling goes down. Now, since you have our man that's been around the block for 50 years, help him out and tell him, don't let her start gold bricking, right? As soon as that swelling goes down, get her out and start cutting the yard, correct?
Oh, yeah.
Boy, Terry. 50
The
years.
thing I don't understand, though, is what doctor is she going to? Because I broke my ankle, and they half-casted my leg. And that stays on. That only stays on for 2 or 3 days. Once the swelling's down, they put the full cast on.
Terry, I think what you probably ended up going to that doctor that works out of a red panel truck at the boathouse parking lot, and he probably put the cast on the wrong leg. That's probably your problem right there.
I thought Gunga was a half cast.
Yeah, it's cast away. Anyway, Terry, today you get to brag because you've just been named the smartest person in Kenosha. Of course, your wife knows that. Terry, are you there?
Yeah.
What's your wife's?
Yeah, she knows that.
What's your wife's name?
Laura.
Laura. Terry and Laura. That's a sweet couple. So, are you enjoying retirement now?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Both of us are retired. We go where we want now.
Grandkids?
Oh, yeah. And great-grandkids, too.
Whoa.
Boy.
Terry, when did you start? About
Prodigious.
5th grade? All right, Terry, here's what's going to happen. Off the air, Wacky Wayne's going to get your name, full name, address, phone number. He's going to print really nice so I can read this. And then on Monday, I will send you out the letter, and You can take Laura. Is Laura or what's her name? Laura?
Laura.
Laura. Whatever.
Alzheimer's.
Squirrel.
And you can take her over to the boathouse. And if you happen to be down there on a Friday, look us up. But bring extra cash if you're coming on a Friday.
No problem.
And, if you're bringing extra cash and you bring this $25 gift certificate, why don't you just tell the missus you're going golfing with us, and you'll be home, by midnight? Midnight, anyway. You're not buying it? Is she strangling you, Terry?
No.
All right. Well, off the air, he's going to get this, and while he's doing that, I'm going to read another spot. Thanks for calling, Terry.
Oh, you're welcome.
All right.
Thank you.
Very good, Wayne. Very good.
Thank you.
My dad would be proud of this. I got it.
Quite good penmanship.
Quite good penmanship. A couple stories here before we get to this other thing. Here's a story of a guy in Florida, 14 years old.
It's not a guy, that's a kid.
It's a kid.
Well, wait till I tell you what he did.
Okay.
He paid $480 to a woman to have sex.
Okay.
A woman, she was from Scotland, and she's currently on bond from the Orange County Jail because she had sex with a 14-year-old kid that she met online.
Okay.
And get this, she actually used a fake name, Sophia Bell. And so the police said the teenager successfully completed his transaction with this gal, and the kid's father found out about it. Now my question is, where does a 14-year-old kid get $480? I mean, if
that's
you're
a lot of lawn.
You got to cut his allowance back a little bit.
That's a lot of lawns mowed.
Geez, $480 and he's 14. So I wish him well.
Sure.
And I'm going to save that one for later. Oh, we're talking about, this was a thing in Idaho Falls. More than 50 geese suddenly fell out of the sky. Apparently they got caught in a wind tunnel up there that, they can fly.
Yeah,
and all of a sudden...
A little microburst.
The officials are calling this a freak accident when all 50 geese come plopping down. And he says they were all on the roofs, and then they were all dead, fell down from the sky at the same time, several hundred yards in radius. You remember the old WKRP thing where they had the promotion with
God
the
is my witness. I thought
turkeys could fly.
Yeah.
I think these guys got this promotion. This is a WILL-FM. This is a promotion.
You think so?
I think these guys went out to Idaho Falls to test this out and see how many geese that they could get, because this is only a hop skipping away from Pleasant Prairie. This is what they're going to do here.
Do you think so?
Those guys are very promotional minded over there in the FM side.
Gotta be.
50 geese. And this other guy, boy, is worried about, gassing them and taking them to the...
Right.
Just let the FM guys handle promotions, and everybody goes home a winner here.
Problem solved.
Problem solved. We are problem solvers here.
Oh, yeah.
This was a little bit... I got some things to say that I'll never say about our city council ever again. Here's a town...
So you're going to not say anything bad about the city council now?
No, because this makes our city council look like geniuses.
Oh, okay.
The town votes to ban balloons and fine violators up to $200. This is in New Shoreham, Rhode Island. They passed a new law prohibiting the sale and use of balloons throughout the town. Of course, it comprises the area of Block Island and off of Rhode Island's east coast. It's probably got a population of a couple hundred.
Sure.
And now the law prohibits the sale and use of balloons for good, because they're very concerned about the environment out there. And there's apparently lots of information that damages, that these balloons damage to the wildlife.
Okay.
And environmental organizations point out the balloons can land in the ocean, even washing up on the shore and polluting the environment. You've been out to New Jersey and see what washes up on the shores out there. So actually, when I read this, so they're this nonprofit, here's the name of this nonprofit organization, Balloons Blow.
Yeah,
a nonprofit organization dedicated to warning the public of the dangers of balloons. The town made a decision to ban one-time use of plastic grocery bags a couple of months earlier for the same reasons. So when you go into a grocery store, it eliminates your choices.
Right, now
paper
you get paper.
Or plastic, you get paper.
Yeah.
And then you have the people, the tree environmentalists, because you can't cut down a tree to make the paper bag. Yada, yada, yada. It keeps going around and round and round. What I thought this makes our Kenosha City Council seem like the smartest group on the planet. Mm-hmm. I mean, all they do is do some silly things about...
I heard they're going to rectify the situation out there. When you have your 4-year-old's birthday party, you have to find something else to blow up that kind of looks like a balloon.
In Rhode Island? well,
surgical gloves, maybe?
262-694-1050. That poses a nice question. What do you think because we have a new city council, for the most part, coming in starting, I think it's next week or the week after. And what do you think should be their number one on their bucket list? What do you think should be a new ordinance? I know one of the things I heard was they're going to repeal that 2-inch snowplow deal and go back to 4 inches. And if there's a certain case, they can let the city administrator or somebody make a decision. But what do you think to our listeners in the Kenosha area? What do you think that they should be the number one thing that they should propose as a new ordinance or change one? For all the young people looking and all you employers looking to fill your positions, and they've had job fairs and all these people going to job fairs and people looking to employers say they have a difficult time filling positions. Unemployment rate has dipped so low that they can't find there are fewer people in the job market. So what better way to seek qualified new hires than to take advantage of the very, very low Kenosha Today advertising rates and increase your ability to fill these positions? There are approximately, listen to this now, 1.4 million people living in the WIP.
Sounds more impressive that way, yeah.
Instead of 1.4.
That one guy's that fourth of a guy's gonna work really hard wherever you put him.
Reaching, he'd probably be here as a talk show host on the AM side.
Probably.
Reaching as far south as North Chicago, west of Lake Geneva, and on north into the northern suburbs of Milwaukee. And if you're looking to fill jobs such as service types, truck drivers, general laborers, warehouse workers, to include any skilled job openings, give me a call at 262-652-6767. We'll get you all the information, get you going, and you can get your new hires, and away you go. All right, we got a couple minutes left. When we get back, we will be talking. We have the top 10, and then we'll play Stump the Chumps. This story I want to wait till we get back, but here's I don't know where I get all of these things, because nobody's obviously, they don't care less about the school board, they don't care about Paul Ryan, they don't care about Zuckerberg, but some of these other things, like, for example, here's a guy in Britain who's...
Why are those black boxes over certain parts of their
Because
bodies?
This guy, he's been taking people in the Philippines on buffalo rides naked. That's what
Is that just a colorful euphemism, or are they actually riding buffalo?
They're riding naked buffalo.
Naked buffalo. Naked.
You got to watch out for naked buffalo.
Well, they are also riding naked. So
so they're naked? So naked people on naked buffalo?
Exactly.
So they shave the buffalo, then they all get on naked. It's a lot of skin on skin right there, buddy. I don't know if that...
That's why they got several years ago, he opened a backpacker bar and a guest house on the island there. And in February, he was arrested for causing a grave scandal over his new drunken buffalo rides. Apparently, you got to have a little to get on one of these things.
Probably.
And the local officials became upset when they saw pictures of a naked man and a woman, which I have in front of me, riding the buffalo, claiming this guy was mocking their culture.
By riding a naked buffalo?
Apparently. And he went on to say, outside of his bar, he's got big, large green letters, drugs, sex, beer, rum, and coke. So, but he gets arrested, and, Elmo, I'm thinking back to some of the things we've done. What do you think they would do if we were in the Philippines?
I don't even want to go.
We should have...
Let's go to CBS News.
We should have Captain Mike call him. Hey, if you just joined us, this is Uncle Scotty Barter, and welcome to the April 14th Hit-to-Click edition of the Kenosha City Weekly Report. If you're looking outside and you're thinking this is January 14th, well, I guess the joke's on you, because this is April 14th. Broadcasting live from Studio A here at AM 1050 WLP on your radio dial. Being brought to you by our major sponsors, the Boathouse Pub and Eatery and Barter's Financial Planning Services, along with a host of many other very fine local businesses. Taking serious journalism, and I mean serious, to an all-time high. Spanning the globe, reporting on national stories, state stories, local issues, and on occasion you guys might make something up. I wouldn't, but
sure.
Elmo has a tendency to stretch it a little bit.
Never.
Joining us this morning, our Kenosha connection on this former spouse day?
Ex-spouse day.
Ex-spouse day, all across the Kenosha Nation. And all they'd have to do is look this up on the internet so they know that we're not
That's
making
correct.
this up. Yeah.
Scott,
Because everything on the internet is true.
That's right. You know what the definition of divorce is?
Go ahead.
It's when a woman extracts a man's genitals through his wallet.
I don't think that's in the Webster's dictionary. I'm just saying. I've looked it up before. I don't think that's the technical.
However,
All right.
however, being in a community property state, we probably have 1.2 male listeners that are going almost right on the money here.
1.4 male listeners.
Yeah. And you got the other 500,000 female listeners that turned us off by now.
Yep.
Anyway, also with us, as he is each and every Saturday morning, every young guy's role model, our video coordinator, the Spider Ronnie, the Love Doctor. Hey, when you were 14, did you ever pay $480 to a gal?
I can't even remember that far back.
Or would you admit it, would you?
Like 50 years ago.
And performing as both our engineer and our board operator, Wakey Wayne, graces us with our presence. Jumbo, we wanted to thank JumboJimTron.com for filling in.
Yes. Yeah.
And,
he came through in the clutch for me, so that was nice.
I was asked to announce after the beer show last week that no beers were killed in the making of that show.
So, thank God for that. And we'll be happy that to report that your wife is going to recover.
Yeah,
nicely,
she's on the mend.
And she'll be out cutting the yard.
Couple of weeks, yeah.
Couple of weeks. Why wait so long? So only go down for another week. Pack that thing in ice. Don't let her gold brick you now. I'm telling you.
We'll be okay.
We're going to check.
I know.
For those who haven't signed on to like us on the Kenosha State Facebook page, better get on with it so you're going to see all the most interesting postings anywhere on the planet. And, otherwise, if you let her get away with this stuff early in your marriage, you'll never end up being married like Terry here for 50 years.
Like Terry for 50 years, yeah.
He didn't let his wife gold brick him into just
doing everything for her. Yeah.
You see, you put him, ask Elmo, you put him in a lap of luxury, and then they're going to expect this all the time.
They're going to always.
Back in the old days, on the pioneers, they'd be plowing the fields, these women. They'd have a baby and just pick up and keep going, right?
Yeah.
Captain Mike, he's the one who told me that.
The mule would die and they'd hitch him to the front of the covered wagon.
Yeah. I mean, come on. Then that was way before nail polish and Facebook, but still, the concept is one.
It's still there. Yeah. It's a tried and true.
We embrace that.
Hence why you're still married happily right now, right?
We're here, ain't we?
Guess not. All right.
Status of this morning's Secret Word Challenge, sponsored by Barter's Financial Planning Services. With over 35 years of tax preparation and financial planning experience, let us guide you as there are still many options available. Give me a call, 262-652-6767. If you need an extension, we can probably do that, but we have to do it by Monday. Look at the phones light up.
I know, right?
Hate mail already. Good morning, you're on Kenosha Today.
Yes, this is Ganga from Libertyville. I suggest your partner with the long marriage gets a good divorce attorney.
Hey, Ganga.
Take it for one that knows.
9 times.
At least 9 times, yeah.
Hey, I was talking to some people, Ganga. You know what they call you? The pompous prince of Pakistan.
Among other things, yes.
So, as I cleverly pointed out to you last week, there's some flaws in your plan about this panty raid at the hair salon. Like these gals don't wear panties. So I'm going to get your advice here. We're going to move on to Plan B. And I got Plan B, and I got this.
Is that an American Plan B or
no,
a Pakistani Plan B?
I got this from the Pakistani Public Works Department,
Excellent.
For which you apparently are still a member in good standing. And so here's my thought. We perform some good old-fashioned community service for the city of Kenosha. You going to be in with this? I'll tell you.
I'm in.
Okay.
I'm in first year, ready for second.
Okay, but let me explain what we're going to do here, okay? We're going to take your Camel Clyde, all right, and we're going to get them all jacked up on Metamucil and some Long Island iced teas, and we're going to pray
among other amphetamines. Where are we going to get these drugs? I could use some before the big heist.
And we're going to parade him up and down Sheridan Road.
Yes.
He lifts his tail, let nature do its course, and we fill in all the potholes. Now,
yes, they are steady feces. The camel dung gets quite hard after it dries. You're correct.
Yes.
So I know what you're thinking. This is sheer brilliance on my part, right?
Yes, amongst that, you'll save the taxpayers many dollars.
That's us.
You're a man. You're the man.
The pompous prince of Pakistan. You know what? You'll probably be up there for some award offered by as the downtown person of the year. You're going to be right up there with like Saul the trolley driver and Wacky Walt. You know what he does?
Certainly not.
Well, Wacky Walt does all the cavity searches over at the detention center. You're going to be right up there, and you're going to be in great company.
Oh, I might enjoy that. You never know.
Hey,
one man's pain is another man's pleasure.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, when I said this story before we took a break about this 14-year-old kid that paid $480, what would that be in Pakistani money in your
That
case?
would be 2,462 rupees.
Rupees?
Rupees.
Yes. Yes.
No, you never paid a woman to have sex, did you?
About 3 rupees.
That's okay. So,
Any other inquiring events you'd want to know about my life?
no,
don't
I'm
know.
afraid to find the answers.
Yes, I will not be as dramatic as last week.
Yeah, please. Push the envelope
Yes.
where we.
Yes, but I would like to shout out for my lovely future ex-bride, Shirley. She makes me horny. Thank you.
Are you dumping her?
No.
No,
he's
she's going
keeping
to
her
be my
around.
future ex-bride.
Right.
Oh, your
yes.
future
Yes.
ex-wife. Oh, I see.
Yes, I'm tingly just thinking about her now. Thank you.
I can just see you two. Now, you said you had a 2-hump camel at the wedding, just riding off into the sunset, kapluck, 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 you know. And, boy, you
Yes.
really show a girl a good time, don't you?
Yes. Well, in my age, I'm about a one-humper now, so that's about it, and I'm exhausted.
You got to pace yourself, boy. Pace yourself.
Yes, I've heard of your sexual prowess also. You're about a half a humper.
That's why they call you the pompous prince, huh? Of Pakistan.
That is correct.
All right.
Gentlemen, make some money.
Okay.
We're trying.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you. See you, Gunga.
The pompous prince of Pakistan. Boy, what a pleasure he is to enjoy to talk to. Let's get back to this. Written in our home office at Amen Corner on the deck at the Boathouse Pub and Eatery, this week's top 10 thought-provoking category. These are the top 10 signs Kenosha's potholes are very large. Number 10. More than half of the potholes are considered par 4s. Number 9. The passing lanes are clearly marked. Number 8. Stormy Daniels can barely fit into one. Number 7. Hookers now specializing in front-end alignments. Number 6. They have replaced the Anderson and Washington Park pools. Number 4. We now have 23,350 mini Lincoln Park lagoons. Number 3. They all have their own escalators. Number 2. Luxurious food courts featuring pothole marijuana. Get it? Pothole marijuana.
Oh, yeah,
Get it?
we
You
got
get
it.
And the number 1 sign, Kenosha's potholes are very large. The city administration promised to have them fully repaired by the year 3018.
I don't doubt it for a second.
Was it me or did you miss number 5?
What was number 5 again?
Who's counting? I was told there wasn't going to be a lot of math problems.
We did the top 9. It's okay. There's really not only 9 reasons.
Do you know no one would have known?
Oh, I guarantee you the caller's hanging on your every word.
Nobody would have ever known that, Elmo. Thank you for this first mistake I made all year. Good morning. You're on Kenosha Today.
And good morning, it's Iris Ruth. You know, I'd like to ask the question, when is WLIP going to be coming to Gurnee?
Well, go ahead and ask the question.
No idea.
We have no idea, but we've been asked to. Well, we got some plans of our own, so we're waiting on. I don't know if they're going to move anytime soon. They just spent probably at least $20 putting this new track lighting in here.
Bought me a new chair.
And bought him a new chair.
I know nothing. Nothing.
That is a
Okay.
standard answer.
Yep.
I imagine that they will have a great big celebration and a media publicity event. You would be very, very apropos at putting in a great deal of your expertise. I also wanted
What
to make
expertise?
a comment.
Yeah, what expertise? Elaborate on that, baby.
What expertise are you speaking of there, Ruth?
It's a wonderful thing that you have such a sense of humor. I wasn't trying to be facetious. I want to make this comment. I recently lost my World War II stepfather, and I would have loved to have had your CD for I Am the Flag, for they would have put that in their programming at the funeral home.
Oh, you know
and
what? It's on YouTube, and if you wanted, I could. In fact, we were just talking about that today.
Yesterday, didn't you just get
I
a
talked.
communication
Yeah,
from the federal government?
I sent for a copyright on I Am the Flag, because the only thing we'd only done for 15 years, we just did the audio. And so, wait a minute now, in preparation for 2016's Veterans Day, we went back in the studio, recorded the audio, and then put the video behind it. And so we applied for a copyright and hadn't heard anything in a year and a half until I got an email from the Library of Congress.
God bless you, because I think that for any World War II veteran, the families would more than incredibly appreciate that. The flag that was on the casket was huge, huge. And I also did something unique. I sent him a long-stemmed green carnation bouquet that represented all the years that I had known him in my life. And so it was over 60 carnations. And then, of course, I had a great big, huge amount of filler in there. So it looked like a field of flowers. It just wasn't the green carnations. But it turned out to be, it was my idea, it turned out to be an incredibly elaborate flower arrangement. And I liked it so much, and so did everyone else.
Okay.
That idea of using a stemmed flower.
Well, this isn't. I appreciate your talking about this, but this isn't plant chatter.
No.
But if anybody seriously wants a copy of that, they can call me at 262-652-6767. We have a number of copies left, Ronnie. We had printed a number of them at the time. But or you can see it on before. If you want to buy a copy, we can send it to you. It's $10. Or if you want to see what it is, you can just go on YouTube.
Repeat that number. I'm writing it on my St. Patrick's bulletin right now. Go ahead.
262-652-6767.
6767.
Yeah, and they're $10 a piece. And if you want to see it again, you can see it on YouTube. And
yeah, I tried to get it at the Veterans Day celebration over there at the American Legion, somehow I missed out on getting it, and that would have been just.
All right, Ruthie. Ruthie.
Bye, Ruth. Thank you. Bye.
Okay.
See ya.
Now for my favorite part of the show. What's that say? Talk to the audience. Oh God, this is always dead.
You heard her. I've got a lot of experience.
You do. She didn't bother specifying what you have experience in, though.
She was excited about her flower arrangement.
Right.
So, and this is not plant chatter, and we really didn't. I should let her go far too long, but anyway. Hey, look, boys and girls. The clock on the wall here at studio says it's 11:19
and 36 seconds.
And 36 seconds. Thank you. I want to be accurate. I don't want to miss a top 10 or miss a million people that are listening to this.
Right.
And everybody knows what that means. It's time for our listeners to strut their stuff and try to stump the chumps. And if you're successful in stumping the chumps, you will then have the privilege and high honor of joining us as a guest host on an upcoming show.
After a vetting process.
Yeah, whatever that means.
We got to make sure, background checks, all that stuff.
We'll have
because Ruth won.
And where's she now?
Right.
Captain.
I don't know. You're supposed to be in contact with her. Same thing with George.
What are you throwing gas on the fire for?
Right. I mean, I'm just saying,
What was I thinking? I gave her my number, for God's sakes. I should have given her a 1-900 number.
Give her the number to the Cubs home office.
Anyway, this is a huge opportunity for our audience to bring something of intelligence, sophistication, or just nonsense and prove to the rest of the Kenosha Nation that we are barely smarter than a fifth grader. The phone, we don't even have to bother clearing.
No, they're pretty clear right now.
We will take your trivia question or song title, and the first caller to successfully stump the chumps, which consists this morning of Elmo, Spider Ronnie, Wacky Wayne, and myself. And then this is what the time when you hit... there you go, Wayne. This is not part of the quiz. This is the what do they call this? The character? Or what do they?
We're building the act.
Building the act. 262-694-1051. I'm waiting for that. I want to recognize KRS Painting Corporation, specializing In.
How are you?
Who's this?
This is Ben.
Morning, Ben.
Did you want to
Good morning,
do you want to
fellas.
play Stump the Chumps, Ben?
Yeah, I'll try it. Why not?
Yeah. Do you go by Ben, Benjamin, or Benny?
Ben.
Big Ben?
Benji's a dog. Yeah, Benji's a dog.
Benji.
Ben the rat. Ben the bear.
So you have been married.
Ben the rat.
Ben the rat. All right.
We did miss National Rat Day this week too. We forgot about it.
You know this is National
Ex-spouse Day.
Ex-spouse Day, Ben. Do you fall into
Yeah,
that?
I was listening when I heard about that. It's surprising. Wow.
Do you fall into that category?
No, I don't. Luckily, I don't. Hopefully, I won't. But
You
know.
read that just like you wrote it there, or your wife wrote it. How long have you been married?
let's see, 97. So, what? 21 years. 21 years.
Is that
I
your
think so.
is that your best guess, Ben?
I think it is 21 years.
is your wife
Hope my
listening?
wife's not listening.
Is your wife?
Yeah, I hope not. I hope not.
Okay. Well, we won't
Ooh,
say, we won't say your last name. All right, Ben. What's the what's your trivia question or song title? What is it?
Mine?
Yeah, you want to stump the chumps? You got to give us a question here.
Yeah. Let's see. A song I like. So I got to give you a song that I could stump you guys. Correct?
Ben, you ain't going to get married. You're going to stay married for the next 21 years if you don't follow the rules here, Ben. Because I'm going to disclose this and to your wife, and I'm going to put her name, and I'm going to put you on Facebook, and I'm going to make up a bunch of stuff, and then you can go answer to Congress. How do you like that, Ben?
All right, that would be good, but then I'd be, living cheaper too.
Now, here's how this works, Ben. You have to give us a trivia question or song title,
okay,
or something along those lines. So, what was?
And you have to know the answer.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that'll make it even harder, I guess. Oh,
Right.
I got one.
Okay.
Let's see a song.
You're so well prepared, Ben.
Yep.
Stump the Chump. Stump the Chumps. Well, I span from the 70s to current, so I'm going to go back a ways. What was Three Dog Night I would say most popular song? I guess that could qualify.
Elmo.
Right?
Three Dog Night.
Most popular song, I would have to say, "Joy to the World."
Joy to the World. That's you lost, Ben. That is correct on our part, right? You lost.
Yeah, I'll give that one to you. I was going to say, I was going to say Shambhala when that song is, but you're right. It is Joy to the World. I agree, it is. That's what everyone says.
Ben,
yeah.
No, here's a question. Who wrote "Joy to the World"? That's the other question.
Yeah. Well, as long as you lost, we'll see if you know.
Joy to the World?
Yeah, who wrote that?
Well, it's got to go. Well, I'm thinking the biblical days. I don't know. Maybe Jesus.
No,
Not Jesus.
The Three Dog Night version.
Three Dog Night, Jesus Road. Yeah. Way to go, Ben. You're not particularly too sharp, are you, Ben?
Nah, not when it comes to that one. No.
All right, so
Joy to the World?
yeah,
"Joy to the World" was written by Laura Nyro.
you knew that, didn't you?
Me? I had no way. I would know that. Nope.
Hey,
Just like I knew how long I've been married.
all right, here's the next question, Ben. What's your wife's name? First name only.
Kelly.
Well, you remember you remembered that pretty quick.
Yeah.
You have that written down someplace, or you have that
With
written?
an EY, not an LY.
Oh.
Oh, there's a good one.
So, so what's this? We had a couple call in before, and they were married 50 years. So you're just about halfway there. So you can envision yourself being married for another 6 years, huh?
Hopefully, I try to stay healthy is the key. Staying healthy is key.
Is healthy?
Being healthy, yeah.
All right, now.
Yep.
You don't hang on her every word, right?
What's that?
You don't hang on her every word.
No.
Hey, Ben, I got one last question here. Now, Wayne here, his wife broke her ankle, and she's home recuperating and claiming that the doctor won't put a cast on until the swelling goes down. My question to you, being a man married for 21 years, he shouldn't start letting her gold brick, and as soon as the swelling's down, by the end of the week, get her out and start cutting a yard, right?
I agree, but as soon as a wife, breaks her ankle or can't really move, then I feel sorry for the husband because he's got to go to the house, everything, the laundry, and all that kind of stuff. But that's the first thing I think of.
But see, now, Wayne here, he's got a 13-year-old kid to do that. So he can lay in the hammock and drink beer.
Yeah.
There's flaws in your plan, Ben. I got another call to take, but I'm sorry. Thanks for calling and playing, and I'm sorry you didn't win, but next time when you play,
Okay.
Thanks,
you'll do better. All right.
All right, guys.
All right,
Take
thanks.
care.
Yeah. No, you don't have another call.
I don't?
No, they're unavailable.
Oh.
I mean,
You know, we should have a signal because I could have kept talking to Ben. He was a delightful guy. You should go like this. Give me one of these.
give you a signal.
Yeah, like this means a call, and this means don't take it, right?
I could give you a signal. Sure.
Yeah.
Don't you worry about that, Scotty. There's nobody there.
You didn't give me the magic signal.
Oh, you don't want. Yeah.
Well.
So, Scotty, I have a story about ex-spouses day.
Okay.
Today. So, my sister recently took a trip to San Antonio and stayed at a very nice hotel down there, the Hotel Emma. And there's a story about that. The Hotel Emma used to be a brewery down there, and it was this gentleman had started it up, and his first wife was named Emma. And unfortunately, she passed away, and then he married another woman named Emma.
The guy just won't spring for new towels.
And he married a third woman named Emma,
Oh,
and a fourth woman named Emma. And then the second wife shot him and killed him.
What's the odds of that happening? You get married 4 times, all to
a woman named Emma.
Like I said, the guy just too cheap to pay, spring for new towels. He's got them all embraced, engraved or embroidered or whatever. Before we go to the break, I want to thank the Boathouse Pub and Days ending in Y. See, that's where there was a flaw in your plan because I only go there in the days ending in Y. And
could have been.
If you happen to come there about 3, bring extra cash. Probably not. If you're married, you probably don't want to bring her because that could make things a little tense along the way here. We're going to take our break here, and before we go, I had one. I got time for this one?
Plenty of time. Whenever you want to take the
no
break,
hard break
just,
on the half hour.
You know, just know that the second half is going to be a little bit shorter because it's uneven.
Okay.
No worries.
This was a teaching assistant in the UK. She finds this adult toy looped around this kid's ear, and the kid thinks it's a hearing aid. And so this is a teaching assistant, and the schoolboy was spotted in the library with one of these male adult things attached to his ear, thinking it was a hearing aid. And so now the one person is in the real problem is the teacher, because she had to explain to her boss, the principal, how she knew what this thing was for. I mean, clearly, I got a dozen of these things in my nightstand over Barter Manor.
Right, so you know what it's for.
And my hearing is perfect.
Perfect. Impeccable hearing.
So with that, we'll take our last weather break. A report coming to you live and streaming worldwide. And to over 1.4 million moons, people riding. I was halfway there, too. Residing in the WIP listening area. Being brought to you by our major sponsors, the Boathouse Pub and Eatery and Barter's Financial Planning Services, along with a host of many other very fine local businesses. This morning's cast of characters, Elmo Schneider.
Good morning.
On this
blustery
day, which is also in the Kenosha Day Nation, the ex-spouse day.
Ex-spouse day.
And from the galaxy called Spider Dome, the love doctor Spider Ronnie, the camera dude.
Barely staying awake over there.
And
he's like dozing.
Engineering our board operator, Wacky Wayne, is all jacked up now. It's spring roadkill season here in Wisconsin is in full swing. That really makes.
Is there a roadkill season that, just seems to go? There is no end. I got popsicles in the winter, slightly thawed out in the spring, already cooked in the summer.
Is there a question in there?
No, just making a bold general statement,
Oh, that's bold.
Bold.
We are here each and every Saturday morning from 10 a.m. until noon. And I always have to put this in. If you happen to miss today's show, you can tune in AM 1050 WLP tomorrow, Sunday at noon, and listen to the replay of this morning's broadcast. And don't forget to join the Kenosha Today Nation and like us on Facebook, where all of your information is protected.
That's correct.
As best we can. We use lots of duct tape. Yeah. Right? Status of the Secret Word Challenge to win a $20 Boathouse gift card from Barter's Financial Planning Services is still yet to be named. And don't forget, you can still call 262-652-6767, schedule a free financial planning consultation, and put yourself in a position to take advantage of the new tax code. Elmo, what's the hint for...
At Barter Manor, this game is normally played naked with copious amounts of vodka and Mazola oil.
Well, that's a heck of a cleanup bill. Copious.
Hopefully she cleans up before she leaves.
You where you make money at Barter Manor? You have the towel concessions. Oh, boy. 262-694-1050. Anyway, now, boys and girls, it's time for this week's special editorial segment, High Five, Zingers, and Doofuses. This morning's headliner, As the Pothole Turns. Like the sands in the hourglass in the days of our lives. This week's high five goes to Speaker of the House Paul Ryan for telling his colleagues in Washington to basically stuff it, and that he's heading back to the private sector and he's going to spend more time with his family. For once, a politician who wants to spend more time with his family and not be one step ahead of an indictment. It shows what a truly great person he is, and that he isn't on some lifetime ego trip supposedly to help his constituents. Congressman Ryan has served the state of Wisconsin, the country, and his fellow politicians. There can be no higher honor or reward, so to Paul Ryan, we salute you and wish you all the best in your next chapter in life. This week's zinger goes to former FBI Director James Comey for referring to our president, Donald the Tweeter Trump, as a mafia don. That seems a bit harsh, don't you think? Yeah. And just because the Trumpster, because he runs the RICO Statute Social Club and hangs out at the Sparks Steakhouse, is no reason to start comparing him to Don Corleone. Besides, under the Trumpster's leadership, many people have benefited financially. And what better bunch of girls you could ask for? Just ask Stormy Daniels. And so to Mr. Comey, we say lay off our beloved and maybe sometimes misguided president, or you might just find yourself sharing a weekend bungalow with Jimmy Hoffa.
You know, Scott, I'm glad I really have good job security here, because if you ever fired me, I could write a tell-all book that...
Who's going to believe that? Who's going to believe 1 ounce of... See if my phone line, my personal line is lighting up here. This week's Doofus Award goes to those yahoos in both the Senate and the House lawmakers who grilled our friend Mark Zuckerberg for 2 days over the unfortunate incident involving the Cambridge Analytica scandal. So big deal. 87 million Facebook users had their data compromised. To that we say, poppycock. Now, put your life on social media. What do you expect was going to happen? And so now comes the question as to what lawmakers are going to do with Facebook, because they clearly don't have a clue of how it even operates, other than they use it as a tool to probably get reelected and also cheat on their wives when they're living in Washington. So here's my suggestion. You change your user data, redo your privacy settings, and claim you've never heard of Donald Trump or Vladimir Putin. That works for me. And there you have it, folks. As the pothole turns for this Saturday, April 14th, I'm Scotty Barter, and I have this message. Before I go any further, I better read this thing from Pete's. Good morning, you're in Kenosha today.
Hey, Scott, how are you?
Hang on, Dennis.
What?
Oh,
we're
preemptive. Just hang on, Dennis.
We're preemptive. Sorry, Dennis. I took 2 weeks off. I forgot. All right.
Just thought we'd get that out of the way real quick. Go ahead.
That's a great calling card. I love it.
We all have to have a calling card.
Is it as beautiful down there as it is up here? I'm in Johnson Creek.
Well, Jesus, the sun's out. It's 80 degrees. Wind's out of the southwest. And, I mean, the grass is growing. The tulips are popping through. And I'm thinking about putting on my Speedo and going out and getting a suntan this afternoon.
Let's not talk about
That's
the tulips again.
scary.
Last time I talked...
That make you want to stay in your house and lock your doors.
Let's not talk about the tulips again. Last time I did that, I got in trouble, I think.
Yes.
Yeah. And thanks for bringing it up, too.
We got tulips, Scotty, and a Speedo. Never working in radio again.
Hey, you know that, I don't know if you've been following this, Elmo, this is Ex-Spouse Day in the Kenosha Day Nation and probably all across the country. You know that, don't you?
No, I haven't been keeping up with anything because, like I say, I'm up here in Johnson Creek.
What's going on up there?
Well, I'm out in the car like a dutiful husband while the beloved Nancy is shopping in a store here.
Oh, you're at the outlet mall.
So are you telling me you let her go in and shop and you sit in the car and call us?
Why not? I'm listening to the radio.
You get us all the way in Johnson Creek? That's pretty good.
Yeah.
No, I listened to other parts of the radio, but then I said, wait, it's almost 11:45. I got to give my weekly call in to Scott, see how he's doing.
So if I understand this right, you were in Johnson Creek, you drive back to Waterford, you leave the missus there. When are you going to go back and pick her up, or aren't you?
No, I'm in Johnson Creek.
Well,
I'm in the parking lot.
Here's what I would say. Just tell her you got caught up in the moment, take off, and let the chips fall where they may.
That sounds like a good idea. Maybe I could run for that open Congress seat with ideas like that.
And it probably is a win.
I understand. Somebody was saying that. Well, I don't know if you guys talked about this because, like I say, I haven't been able to get you guys because I'm up here. But have you talked about? I heard someone Barker was thinking of running out.
He's thinking about it, but he's got a pretty nice thing going now, and I don't know that he was a congressman at one time.
Yeah, he held that seat for
4 years, right?
No,
8 years,
couple of months.
Oh, couple of months.
Yep.
Oh, I don't know that he wants to get involved with
That's
that.
after Les Aspin was made.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
Secretary of Defense.
Yeah, but if he was in D.C., where would he drive to get away from having to vote if he didn't want to?
Is this a trick question? We've already stumped the chumps, and we won that one too. So, hey, Dennis, I got
did
another.
Did get the secret word?
Go ahead.
This is 2 words, but considering the weather, heat wave.
Well, then you're a two-time loser. So you didn't win. And besides, I had another call, and I thought it was your lovely wife. What's her name? On the caller ID. No, she's calling us. Are you sure she's in there?
She's in an outlet store, yeah.
Yeah, she's probably in some Bass Sport outfit then, or she's probably in Victoria's Secret, trying to get something to entice you. What I don't understand is, and we've had a couple call in. He was 50, married 50 years. Another one 21. The secret, I gather, is you have to be in there and endure that shopping thing with her. What's the matter with you?
Well, I don't need anything else in my life.
No, you're missing the point.
WLIP and
you've got to.
All the rest of it. What do I need?
Well, she needs your credit card for one thing, and you got to be.
Got her own.
You got to be there to support her shopping. I mean, how lame is that? You drop her off in a shopping mall and sit in the car. You know what? What if the security come aboard, thinking about you don't have a Captain Mike's bathrobe on because they're gonna probably think you're some pervert out there sitting in the car by yourself.
Well, I am going to tell you something. It's been so windy that, and with me in the car, this is hard to believe, but the car has been swaying a lot, even with me in it, with the as strong as this wind is blowing out here today.
So not only there you're alone, you're drinking alone too, aren't you? A lonely old man in a parking lot at a mall claiming his wife is inside. Boy, Dennis, if I was a security cop, I wouldn't buy that. I'd have you in cuffs and have you strip search and taken back to Waterford.
Isn't that the old saying? If this car's a rockin', don't come a knockin'?
There you go. Just trying to help out here. Well, you didn't win you didn't win anything.
Did anybody get the secret word yet?
Not yet.
Wow.
Not yet. Well, it's. Give him the hint one more time.
Well, the hint is at Barter Manor, this game is usually played naked with copious amounts of vodka and Mazola oil.
You don't get another choice because you've already lost. But
you just said it.
I was going to say Twister.
Yeah. That is correct.
Oh, this pains me.
Son of a gun.
We gave him.
I told you somebody would get it. So.
Well, what, him?
Why wouldn't I think of Twister?
Because you already thought of some other dopey answer.
Well, that was a joke answer. I said heat wave.
Oh. All right, Dennis. Well, I have to put this up to a vote, and I'll have an answer before the end of the show. I got to take another call.
All right, take it easy, guys.
All right.
I have to put this up to a vote now.
Good morning.
Turn your radio down.
Radio down.
All right. Good morning, Aaron. Who's this?
Radio down. Captain Mike, how you doing?
Oh, very good.
How about the game? Can I guess the name of the game?
It's already been given.
I'll give you one shot. Go ahead.
Ride the Buffalo.
Right. You know what? Were you listening at all to the show?
I was listening partly. You were talking about riding a buffalo there that was shaved a long time ago.
Yeah, went by the name of Mike.
Oh, no.
You know, the guy Dennis, not more than 30 seconds ago, said the secret word. So,
Twister.
Okay.
Correct.
Unfortunately, he won, you lose.
Oh, that's what
So I got to decide because he...
I missed that. Oh, okay. I just missed it was the thing with the Mazzola. I didn't know it was... That was the secret word thing.
So you thought that was a twist? I mean, a dead giveaway when he said the Mazzola and we do this at Barter Manor? You thought that was cute?
I did. And with the Buffalo thing earlier in the show.
Here's what I'll do. Here's what I'm going to trade you, Captain Mike.
Go ahead, man.
Instead of, because Dennis technically, well, he lost, but we're going to figure something out how to scam him out of paying.
Oh,
but I'm sitting on something that you're going to really enjoy.
I don't want to know about it. What are you?
Irish Ruth's phone number.
Oh,
try to taper down your enthusiasm.
We'll put that up on Facebook.
Yeah, I'm so emotional. Well, anyways, hey, concerning the name change in the saloon, it'll probably change July 1st. But if it's the way it was, all the license end on the 30th.
Because the liquor licenses change.
The liquor license, bartender's license, all of them things. So they'll probably, put it under the different name come July 1st.
Okay. Yeah, and so it's a good move to do it at this time because you're instead of reapplying and
otherwise, I know that the filing fees are horrendous.
Yes, because you got to start over. You got to surrender it.
Change name in midstream.
So what are you doing on this balmy Saturday morning? Are you sitting out on your porch in your tank top and trying to get a suntan?
Actually, I don't have a shirt on.
Oh God Almighty! There's kids in that neighborhood. Would you put that on? That's not a pretty sight.
I made bacon and eggs. It was real good.
Oh, did you use the 10W40 or 10W30?
WD-40.
WD-40?
I certainly did. That's it. My pal Phil, the protester, come by when I was ready to turn my eggs over. So,
oh Jesus!
I yelled at him and he ran away.
Well, that's a top security. All right, Mike.
Yeah,
well,
okay, you guys.
Maybe we'll see you at the conference.
Okay.
Hey, and that shirt that you wore yesterday afternoon, that needs work. Like it needs some elbows. You had holes in both elbows. Is that can't be from working? That's got to be from putting both elbows.
From a homeless guy.
No, when I was young, I got him on my knees. Now that I'm old, I got him on my elbows.
Yeah, there's a guy sitting underneath the bridge without a shirt on. Now I know why.
And stealing my elbow material.
Wait a minute. How did you get those holes? Just by keeping your elbows on the bar?
I think so.
For 30 years? Yeah.
I think so.
Well, you're not exactly a slave to fashion when I saw that.
Crying when I'm listening to your show.
I'm trying to for those
you and millions of others.
Trying to describe this shirt. It was a blue plaid flannel, and you had the sleeves kind of rolled up, but the elbows had big gaping holes, and I thought this was
another shirt. It's almost the same pattern. Elbows that wore. I bought them at the same time. They wore out at the same day. I put one on. I saw the elbows. I put the other one on. The elbows are out on that one.
Who dresses you in the morning with all this?
It's probably better if we don't know.
You're not exactly
it's better if you don't know. Yeah, that's right.
Don't you have a valet?
A valet, sure.
You're going to be a poster boy for flannel.
Yeah.
All right. Well.
Okay.
Captain Mike, piece of Kenosha heritage.
I'll see you at the business.
Yeah.
At the office.
At the office.
Oh, okay, you guys.
See you, Mike.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
That was quite an outfit he had on.
Yes.
He was not exactly he wasn't exactly prom material. But I felt bad for the homeless guy that was underneath the bridge freezing his fanny off yesterday. And but Captain Mike says, hey, look at how nice I look. So it's the way it is.